Hi, I am Vikas Hassan, your instructor for the ultimate guide to hacking IELTS. And I am absolutely thrilled for you to start your journey of nailing IELTS, moving abroad, getting admissions, and whatever the reason you want it for. You know, I have spent so much time in dissecting this big monster, this IELTS, and simplifying it for you. You see, English language is a vast language. IELTS is what, like 0.1% of English language? So why should we study the entire English language when all we need is to ace the skill of IELTS? In this course, you're going to find all 4 sections: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. And the way I've structured this is that I first give you the fundamental hacks that will form the building blocks, and then I'll give you the smart strategies, tips, live demos on how to apply them, live demos of speaking questions and interview practices, live demos of writing, and basically everything else. I graduated as a gold medalist from National University of Singapore, and I got 8.5 band in my IELTS in my first attempt, and I was not a native English speaker. I learned English the way I have taught in this. I learned the skill of IELTS the way I've taught in this. I've held nothing back. I have given you every single thing, every single strategy and hack that I first applied for myself, then my pilot students, and now in the past 2 years, about more than 1,000 students.
The third type of questions are true-false, not given questions. The question is, decide if the information or writer's opinion in the question statements can be found in the passage. If it's true, false, or it's not even given. Before we solve this, you need to understand what each of the term means here. And just to make you feel better, these were the worst questions for me as well when I was practicing. So here's what I found out. True, that the same information that the question is asking you is also found in the passage. Alright? What is false? True is easy. Everybody has confusion between false and not given. So what is the difference? The difference is this. False is when the opposite information is found in the passage. So the information that is being asked in the question is also being talked about in the passage, but it's the opposite information. The sky is blue, the passage said no, the sky is red. That is when it gets false. And not given, when there's not even a mention of sky and its color. That is what is not given. So information is not found in the passage. Again, it's important to emphasize, false. The opposite information is found, not given. The information is not found in the passage. I list the steps to solve first, so that when we look at the examples, you'll get a better idea of what are true, false, and not given. But let's look at the steps first. You'll see the hack 1. Quickly skim the questions before looking at the passage to find out, yes, it is a true, false, not given questions. Hence, it's also one of the 4 types. You only need to locate information rather than reading or understanding the full meaning. Amazing. And 2, you use hack 2 to get a general idea of the passage. You read the first sentence of each of the paragraphs. Then you move on to hack 3 to read the question and look for keywords. Then you match the keywords to identify where in the passage these keywords occur. And again, remember hack 4 applies here as well. These are the 3 types of questions: fill in the blanks, short answer questions, and true-false questions where the answers come in order. So you can use hack 4 as well. Remember, hack 4 will not be used after these 3 types. And one last thing here. If you're not sure of the answer, always guess. You might feel that you suck at guessing. Honestly, everybody feels that, and everybody who has ever gone into a casino or played any kind of gambling game feels that he has the worst luck in the world. But here, you only have 3 options. It's either going to be true, false, or not given. So no matter which answer you choose, your probability of getting it right is 33%. And remember, there's no negative marking. So what you're going to do, you're going to use all the strategies to get the right answer. But if, worst case scenario, you have absolutely no idea, guess. But usually what happens is that you will have a good idea it's not true, but you won't have an idea if it's false or not given. In that case, your probability is 50%, which is as good as it can get. Let's see examples to give you an idea how to solve these questions. The first example we're going to look is of questions 9 to 14, so it should be easier relatively. Let's flip over the page to see what type of questions they are. Okay, they're true, false, not given. And then we will just skim through the questions to get a basic idea. Business basics is appropriate for beginners. Bookkeeping has no practical component. Bookkeeping is intended for advanced students only. The new enterprise module can help your business become more profitable. Social networking focuses on specific website to help your business succeed. And communication class involves speaking in front of an audience. Okay, didn't really get much idea, but there are few terms here that they're talking about and their characteristics. Let's see the passage and we can get an idea now. Title and first sentence. Community education, short courses, business. Okay, so these are talking about few different short courses on business. Business basics is one of the course. Gain foundation knowledge for employment in an accounts position with bookkeeping and business basics. All right, bookkeeping is another course. This course will provide students with a comprehensive understanding of bookkeeping and a great deal of hands-on experience. New enterprise module, understand company structures, taxes, deductions, etc. Social networking, the latest marketing tool. This broad overview gives you the opportunity to analyze what web technologies are available. All right. Communication, take the fear out of talking to large public gatherings of people. So these are the different courses they are offering. Let's go one by one. Business basics is appropriate for beginners. So we have to now look in the business basics course and see if it is appropriate for beginners or not. Business basics. Gain foundation knowledge for employment in an accounts position with bookkeeping and business basics through to an intermediate level, suitable for anyone requiring knowledge from the ground up. So it is suitable for anyone requiring knowledge from the ground up. Ground up actually means from zero, like ground up. So that means it is appropriate for beginners. We will write true. All right, spell mistake. Where did that go? This D should be fine. Bookkeeping has no practical component. So we're looking at bookkeeping and we have to see if it has a practical component or not. Or even if it talks about this or not. Bookkeeping. This course will provide students with a comprehensive understanding of bookkeeping and a great deal of hands-on experience. So it does provide hands-on experience. Has no practical component. Oh, that's completely wrong. It does provide hands-on experience. So remember, false is when the opposite is being talked about. So this says no practical and that says up there it does provide hands-on experience. So this is false. Bookkeeping again is intended for advanced students only. Did it mention? We were just reading it. With a comprehensive understanding of bookkeeping and a great deal of advanced hands-on experience. Code is something, date is something, one session only, so advanced booking essential, cost $250. Right. So they have only asked that question because they wanted to confuse you with the word advanced here. But in actual, the question is asking, is it intended for advanced students only? And no, there is no mention about it. If it's intermediate or advanced or beginner. So when there's no mention about something, you write not given. The new enterprise module can help your business become profitable. So we have to look about see new enterprise module, and we have to see if it can help your business become more profitable. New enterprise module. Understand company structures, tax rates, deductions, employer obligations, profit and loss statements, GST, and budgeting for tax. No, so these are just the characteristics. Profit and loss statements is what they are teaching, but it doesn't say anywhere that it can help your business become more profitable. No, 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 no. So it doesn't say anywhere, remember? It doesn't say the opposite as well, but it just doesn't say that whether it will help your business become more profitable or will it not help your business. No mention about it. Social networking focuses on a specific website to help your business succeed. So social networking course and a specific website. Social networking. This broad overview gives you the opportunity to analyze what web technologies are available and how they can benefit your organization. Right. So this is false because here it says, does it focus on a specific website? And here it says to analyze what web technologies are available. It talks about many different web technologies. So it does talk about that website, and it talks about opposite thing, which is not one specific website but different web technologies. The communication class, now we talk about communication class, involves speaking in front of an audience. Okay, so communication class, does it involve speaking in front of audience? Communication. Take the fear out of talking to large gatherings of people. Gain the public speaking experience that will empower you with better communication skills and confidence. Okay, so the communication class involves speaking in front of an audience. Does it talk about actual speaking in front of audience? In first view, I don't think so it mentions that. Let's see again. Take the fear out of talking to large gatherings of people. Gain the public speaking experience that will empower you with better communication skills and confidence. No, I don't think so it says anything about does it involve speaking in front of an audience or it does not. Does it have a practical component or not? So I'm going with not given. Now let's check the answers. Alright, so all 6 are correct. They were relatively easy ones except for the last one. And now to read it again, because now I know the answer is correct. Does the class involve speaking in front of audience or not? So it doesn't really mention anywhere about that the component of the class has this component that you will be talking in front of audience. But it does say generally that you have to take this module, this course will take the fear out of talking to large gatherings of people. But it doesn't say that whether or not in the component you will be talking to people or not. Right, now let's look at a different set of questions for true false. These questions are from section 2, so they should be a bit more difficult than the previous one. So we go to see the questions first. The company wants its workers to wear comfortable clothes. Employees dealing with external visitors should wear smart casual attire. Lab workers must keep fingernails short. Sturdy footwear is compulsory for warehouse workers. Clothing should always be clean and pressed. Machine operators must remove all jewelry. And employees who come into contact with customers must not have visible tattoos. Alright, so I got an idea that it's talking about something, grooming and wearing certain things and not wearing other things. Let's get an idea of what this passage is about. Company dress code policy. Policy statement. Employees are representative of the company and should dress appropriately. Then it gives you dress code requirements. An employee's schedule of duty should largely determine his or her work attire. Okay, the company's objective is to allow employees to work comfortably. In the lab, long sleeve shirts and trousers offer the best protection, and there are a few things, you don't have to read them now. In the warehouse, dress codes for warehouse employees are also based on safety concerns. Thus, the requirement for steel-toed boots and durable trousers. Inappropriate clothing. Sport-related clothing including t-shirts or ties with slogans or club, etc. and blah blah blah. Some common issues: piercings, tattoos, hairstyle, jewelry. Any jewelry that could pose a safety hazard for employees operating machinery must be removed, and other few things. All employees of the company should adhere to the dress code policy at all times. These are things compulsory. Right, let's read the first one. The company wants its workers to wear comfortable clothes. We have to look for the comfortable clothes. All right. This is fine. Let's see. So let's talk about the dress code. Where does it talk about comfortable clothes? We know because we read the first line. Now let's see. Let's start from the top. An employee's schedule of duty should largely determine his or her work attire. The company's objective is to allow employees to work comfortably. So smart casual attire is the standard, except in the following circumstances. Okay, what was the question? Company wants its workers to wear comfortable clothes. True, because it says that company's objective is to allow employees to work comfortably. That is the objective. So company wants its workers to wear comfortable clothes. That's first. We got true here. Employee dealing with external visitors should wear smart casual. Okay, I remember reading smart casual as a keyword. Where was it? This. So smart casual attire is standard except in the following conditions. Okay, what is the question? Employees dealing with external visitors should wear smart casual. Now I have to look for external visitors. Should they or should they not wear smart casual? So they should wear smart casual except in these conditions. When employees are meeting with clients, community visitors, external visitors, or interviewing candidates in order to project a professional image, they should dress in a conventional business-like manner. Right. So when they're dating external visitor, they should dress in a business-like manner, not in smart casual, because smart casual is allowed except in these two conditions. So this is very clearly a false statement because the opposite is true. Lab workers must keep their fingernails short. So let's see where the fingernails is. And it should be in the laboratory because lab workers, fingernails. I'm not reading, I'm just looking for the word. Okay, got it. What is the question? Lab workers must keep their fingernails short. Synthetic fingernails are also highly flammable and therefore not permissible. Okay, it doesn't really talk about long or short. Let's read further. Hairspray is highly flammable and should not be used before entering the lab. Alright, so fingernails are only being talked about in this one sentence and they're not talking about long or short at all. So it's very clearly a not given. Sturdy footwear is compulsory for warehouse workers. So now we have to look for warehouse and footwear. Warehouse, I remember that I read a passage about this. Okay, there's only one thing here. So it's pretty much obvious that we'll be talking about in this passage. So what's the question? Sturdy footwear is compulsory. Is it? Dress codes for warehouse employees are also based on safety concerns. Thus, the requirement of steel-toed boots. Right. So they have paraphrased sturdy as steel-toed and footwear as boots. So you know that the requirement for steel-toed boots and durable trousers are compulsory because you know that all these conditions are requirement. As it said here, all employees of the company should adhere to the dress code policy at all times. So, sturdy footwear is compulsory. It is compulsory. The steel boots. True. Clothing should always be clean and pressed. So let's see something about clothing. Inappropriate clothing, of course. What's the question again? Clean and pressed. Should be or should not? Sports related clothing, including t-shirts or ties with slogans or club insignia. I have no idea what that means. So these are all the inappropriate clothing, these 4 types. T-shirts or tops displaying offensive pictures or bad language. Revealing clothing that exposes too much cleavage, your back, chest, feet, stomach, or your underwear. Wrinkled, torn, dirty, or frayed clothing. Alright, so these 4 types of clothing, wrinkled, torn, dirty, frayed, are inappropriate. Hence, clothing should always be clean and pressed. This is true, because the opposite is given, that is inappropriate. Paragraph does talk about it, so it's not given. Machine operators must remove all jewelry. I remember reading jewelry somewhere. Where was it? Jewelry. There we go. And now, what is the question? Machine operators must remove all jewelry. Is it true or false? Any jewelry that could pose a safety hazard for employees operating machinery must be removed. So all jewelry must be removed? No. The opposite is true. Any jewelry that poses a safety threat. So only jewelry that poses a safety threat must be removed. Not all jewelry must be removed. So the paragraph does talk about it, hence it's not given. And because it talks about the opposite thing, it's false. Employees who come into contact with customers must not have visible tattoos. Okay, so now let's look at tattoos. Where does it talk about tattoos? It should be after that. Tattoos. There we go. What is the question? Employees who come into contact with customers must not have visible tattoos. Must not. Employees wearing a business standard of dress may be asked to remove certain piercings such as nose and eyebrow rings and cover up tattoos. Must not have visible tattoos. This is true. That employees coming into contact with customers should not have visible tattoos. This is true. Okay. Keywords were pretty straightforward. I think I've gotten all right. Let me check. Yep, as expected, all of these are correct. I thought that 15 to 21 might be more difficult, but it turns out section 2, which was this, is also as easy as the previous example we saw. Let's now move on to the 4th type of questions.